More than ever, the old adage that the most thrilling result tends to be the most probable appears to validate itself daily. Fresh rumors from the Formula One paddock suggest an extraordinary scenario. George Russell might be heading toward Aston Martin, while Toto Wolff continues pursuing his ambition of securing Max Verstappen for Mercedes. But what unfolds if both drivers land with the same team? The consequences for Formula One would be earth-shattering. Russell and Verstappen, two of the most competitive racers on the grid who have never truly gotten along, potentially working from the same facility. This creates perfect conditions for drama, both during races and behind the scenes. Sources have verified that Aston Martin, presently undergoing reconstruction ahead of the sport's major 2026 regulatory changes, has expressed interest in obtaining George Russell's commitment for that season. Given that Russell's existing Mercedes agreement concludes at the close of 2025, this occurs as the Silverstone-based organization positions itself as a legitimate championship challenger. Russell transferred from Williams to Mercedes during 2022, and despite displaying flashes of excellence, he has struggled with machinery that seldom equaled Red Bull's RB lineup or the increasingly formidable McLaren. Although he has publicly expressed his desire to continue at Brackley, his recent paddock activities indicate he is considering alternative opportunities. During the Australian Grand Prix, observant spectators noticed McLaren leadership, including Zak Brown and Andrea Stella, engaged in what appeared to be an informal yet meaningful discussion with Russell. Subsequently, at the Chinese Grand Prix, Russell was observed enjoying a friendly exchange with Alpine's Flavio Briatore. To add intrigue, Russell allegedly conducted initial discussions with Red Bull's Christian Horner, a known supporter who previously stated the organization would be unwise to overlook Russell's capabilities. Now, as reported by The Times, Aston Martin has formally joined the competition for Russell's services. Through the team's technological restructuring under Adrian Newey's guidance and a manufacturer-engine partnership with Honda commencing in 2026, Aston Martin is establishing a powerful foundation. Despite their current disappointing ninth position in the Constructors' Championship, their long-term strategy is operational. The organization provided a statement regarding the speculation, saying, "Media speculation about the driver marketplace is expected, but we possess an exceptional driver roster that we support and who remain contracted through 2026 and beyond. Our priority involves delivering improved results for our drivers through providing them with a more reliable and competitive vehicle." However, in Formula One, contractual terms only hold strength equal to team performance, and there remains little uncertainty that should Lawrence Stroll identify a chance to secure a prospective world champion, agreements can be terminated regardless of their apparent security. While the George Russell narrative gains momentum, Mercedes team principal Toto Wolff maintains focus on the ultimate target, Max Verstappen. Wolff has consistently demonstrated his respect for Verstappen, and despite Verstappen's strained FIA relationship plus potential early retirement threats, Wolff considers the current world champion definitely still available, particularly as Verstappen repeatedly suggests he may depart Red Bull due to internal conflicts and an excessive racing schedule. During post-race analysis following the Spanish Grand Prix, Wolff supported Verstappen after a disputed on-track situation involving Russell. Many believed it represented anger from Max, but Wolff rejected this interpretation. "I recently learned that Max received instructions to allow Russell through. I was unaware at that moment. We assumed he experienced car troubles. If it was anger, it was poorly executed. It appeared to be a DRS maneuver to position George forward, then overtake him again." Wolff's response was diplomatic, avoiding blame while suggesting that Verstappen was executing tactical moves experienced racers employ. Simply put, he is maintaining positive relationships. Actually, it appears he is preserving all possibilities. When questioned about Russell's contractual status, Wolff clarified, "George and I have complete understanding regarding our direction. We have total agreement. We will not delay until September for resolution. But suppose the agreement they are referencing forms part of a larger plan, one involving significant driver movements among several leading teams. This is where the driver marketplace transforms from complex to absolutely chaotic. Imagine if Aston Martin somehow achieves the unthinkable and contracts both Russell and Verstappen for 2026. Theoretically, this would create a super team deserving of championship competition. Russell has demonstrated his ability to guide a team and compete at the highest level. Verstappen naturally represents the unquestioned standard of today's generation, possessing 4 championships and remaining at peak performance. Yet combining them might prove like attempting to blend oil with water. Their racing history has been far from cordial. The duo has confronted each other repeatedly, both during wheel-to-wheel combat and in post-race discussions. On multiple occasions, they have criticized each other for dangerous driving, inadequate race skills, and worse behaviors. Should they unite in the same facility, whether at Aston Martin or Mercedes, the organization will require more than simple performance improvements. They will need exceptional conflict resolution capabilities. Consider the strategic planning sessions. Each team instruction becomes a diplomatic crisis. Every track altercation receives examination comparable to championship-deciding incidents. The team leader, be it Mike Crack or Toto Wolff, must navigate delicate political situations every race weekend. We should also consider the wider ramifications. With Adrian Newey directing Aston Martin's 2026 vehicle development, we can be confident this organization is not merely pursuing competitiveness. They are targeting an era of supremacy comparable to those achieved by Mercedes and Red Bull. Unite Newey's brilliance with Honda propulsion and a Verstappen-Russell partnership, and you potentially create the next-generation defining super team. Currently, the 2026 driver marketplace resembles a massive chess match. Everyone observes everyone else. Russell prefers remaining with Mercedes, yet clearly considers alternatives. Verstappen seems increasingly frustrated with Red Bull's politics. Toto Wolff prepares for multiple scenarios, retaining Russell while pursuing Verstappen or substituting Russell with Max. Aston Martin monitors these developments while discreetly constructing one of the grid's most technically ambitious undertakings. Combined with Flavio Briatore's Alpine return and McLaren's continued advancement, the competitive pressure has reached unprecedented levels. What creates such fascination is that every element remains fluid and no one enjoys security. Even contracted drivers like Lance Stroll or Fernando Alonso might face displacement should championship opportunities emerge. Agreements can be dissolved, loyalties may change, and Formula One history repeatedly demonstrates that results override faithfulness consistently. With 2025 progressing rapidly and organizations already evaluating preliminary concepts for the extensive 2026 restructuring, the upcoming months will prove decisive. Expect additional unexpected encounters, unusual grid activities, and mysterious radio communications to surface. This transcends mere driving skill. It involves precise timing, strategic maneuvering, and preparation for Formula One's next significant era. Whether George Russell appears in green or silver during 2026, and whether Verstappen remains, retires, or surprises everyone by changing organizations, one fact remains certain. Formula One approaches a major transformation. Should both Russell and Verstappen somehow end up sharing the same facility, the radio communications will certainly not consist entirely of pleasant exchanges. One certainty exists. 2026 promises to become among the most unpredictable campaigns in recent Formula One memory. With comprehensive regulatory modifications approaching, teams and supporters alike prepare for complete restructuring. Today's supremacy may prove meaningless tomorrow, while yesterday's outsiders might claim their opportunity. This represents the type of disruption that inverts the competitive order, exposing even the strongest organization. At this situation's core, both Red Bull and Aston Martin face substantial changes, though their prospects differ dramatically. Red Bull, with Ford replacing Honda, confronts the challenging process of adjusting to completely different engine characteristics, potentially disrupting their established momentum. Conversely, Aston Martin, strengthened by Honda power and Adrian Newey's involvement, appears positioned for significant progress. 2026 could prove the season they transform everything. What are your thoughts? Can Russell and Verstappen function together within the same organization, or will we observe the most intense internal team competition since Prost challenged Senna? Share your opinions in the comments. Remember to hit the like button and subscribe for additional content with notifications enabled.